Here we have this beautiful 1979 Honda CB550-4 that's been made into a Cafe Racer. As you guys can see here, it's got some slight changes, but also some original pieces. So you'll see here, it's got the original dual hydraulic disc brakes. However, it's got the braided hoses to increase brake pressure. It's got the custom bar end mirrors. It's got the custom instrument cluster. We've also got the quad carbs with their little air filters on them here, which is very cool. We've got very basic suspension and a rear drum, and then your custom leather seat that's been made just to complete the look of the bike. And as you guys can see here, with this bike's party trick is that it's got no exhaust muffler on it, so you're gonna hear it and you're gonna feel it in your bones. This thing is unreal. Let's go and ride it and see exactly how it sounds. I invite all of you guys to join me in 1979, listening and being a part of this ride, embracing this awesomeness. As you guys can see here, this CB550 doesn't have a muffler. Like the hipsters in Cape Town don't have milk with their coffee, this bike's got no muffler. It's one of those things, it's just the two and two don't go together. And the reason for that is because it makes this noise. Listen to the carburation from those quad carburetors. Oh, and that, guys, is not even gunning it. So this particular bike makes 40 kilowatts and about 60 newton meters. But those numbers are immaterial. All of that's immaterial. Because when you're on a Sunday afternoon ride like I am today, and you get this noise, nothing else matters. I'm actually getting goosebumps on my goosebumps from just riding this. So there are one or two little drawbacks from this bike, obviously being made into a Cafe Racer. It's got no fuel gauge, no rev limiter or no rev counter, and very, very bad brakes and ergonomics. If you guys hear them squeaking just now, you'll hear, there you go, on call. So Cafe Racers are more for the look and for the sound, which I fully understand. This thing is bliss. I'm in love. You know, it's like one of those movie scenes where you see the guy riding off into the sunset with the woman. No, in this case I just need this bike and I'm golden. It's just, can you get any better than this? Sunday afternoon, Chapman's Peak, and a motorbike that sounds like a F40 with a squeaky brake, of course. So I've driven some cool cars in my time. I've driven in a Lexus LFA, I've driven in numerous V12 Ferraris, but there is very little that can touch this car, this bike. Sorry, car, what am I saying? Look, the downsides are, like you've got an old V12 Ferrari with uncomfortable seats, you have a really, really uncomfortable seat on this bike. It's got diamond stitching, it's custom made, but the diamond stitchings are like a little subtle hint saying the seat's actually made out of diamonds. Because it's hard. The seat is very hard. Look, onto the brakes. It does have upgraded braided hoses and dual 6-pot calipers on each disc. In the front, it's 2. But then, for some reason, obviously the technology in the time played a little bit of an impact. They can only have a drum at the rear, which is like pressing on a cardboard piece of paper trying to stop a wheel. It doesn't help that much. In terms of electronics, this thing has almost none. I think the only electronics it has is just the headlights, which provides a little dot of light. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's like minute. But like I said earlier, none of that matters. As long as you've got the keys to this bike and an empty Chapman's Peak, because listen to this. Just give it a second. Here it comes. There is very little to touch what is in this moment right now. I think the only bike that sounds maybe a little bit better than this thing is the CB1000, but those are like hen's teeth to get hold of. Where luckily Nate has been very cool to let us ride and review his beautiful Honda CB550. Look, if you look at the other aspects, the things that actually need to matter sometimes, like where your indicators are and your lights and your rearview mirrors and stuff, this bike's not too bad. I mean, you crouch all the way forward, about a bind into a scrum here, but you know, you can see everything, you've got access to everything. The only thing you don't have access to, and you can't see, funny enough, is a fuel gauge, which, being a loud, quad carbureted 500cc bike, you would kind of want to know, but I think then again, you're cool enough being on a Cafe Racer and not needing to worry about that. I mean, if you run out of fuel and pull out on the side of the road and stop, I'm pretty sure someone will come and stop and give you a hand. I mean, this thing's too beautiful not to stop and look at. So guys, I think that covers it all. Besides, I just want to get on and ride this goodness. I do want to say though, the only one weak link about this bike is that the rear suspension is really terrible. No adjustments, nothing. No rebound, basically no spring. Basically it's just a piece of metal holding between the rear wheel and the rear frame. That's it. Oh, and the brakes, but hey, we can get there. Otherwise, clutch is fine, gearbox is great. It runs amazingly. I also want to say a huge thank you to the guys at Wrench Monkey for building this absolute piece of artwork. It is superb.